Yeah, I know the Lakers got LeBron and AD, but they old. I'm talking about Westbrook, a triple-double machine. Where's this? I gotta go. Hey, y'all, what's up? Yes, it's that time of the year, and we are a quarter of the way into 2021. And let me be the first to say, this year feels like a bootleg remix, screwed down version of 2020. Translation, this COVID year hangover sucks. And if you got the vaccine, please, do me a favor. Keep it to yourself, because nobody cares, really. Especially those of us who haven't gotten it yet. I mean, good for you. But I got enough pressure with a 14-year-old going through puberty. I don't need any extra stress. But those that did get it, thank you. Here's a sticker for saving me the trip. And for everybody else, pay attention and let me awaken you with a full dose of uncensored news, real news you could use, no cap, all facts. I'm your host, Steph Lover, but you already knew that. And we back after an extended vacation, and no, I wasn't suspended. Me and my superstar producer, King RG, are live from the Uncensored Network studios. Download the app and take us wherever you're at. Now, in addition to most suspect police shootings on video, no less, daily Trump lies, and Jen and Van getting back together, I definitely didn't see that one coming. Apparently, neither did A-Rod. But we're going to get to all that and more in this here episode of Uncensored News, including a crazy celebrity flex by one of my faves and more COVID kids. Yeah, loving them COVID kids, especially since none of them is mine. But first, the headlines. Yeah. Now, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it seems like Prince Harry ain't never gonna let them stuffy, bloody bastards, aka the royals, relax. Cause just when the dust was settling from him and his wife Meghan Markle's first Oprah interview, the Duke of Sussex is at it again, and this time he's giving 0 fucks and spilling his guts in a new docuseries co-created by none other than Oprah called The Me You Can't See. In it, Harry goes off about the trauma he suffered as a child when his mother, Princess Diana, was killed in a fatal car crash after being chased into a tunnel in London by paparazzi. Now, Harry recalls the shock and trauma of his mother's death back in 1997. He says that it triggered years of hard partying, drinking, and drug use. Really? Well, damn, sounds like the British royalty is piping hot. I'm just kind of curious, like, what drugs are we talking about? We talking about some weed here, some Zaza? Can you see Harry rolling a Philly or Dutch white out? Not so sure about that. Was it meth, coquito, heroin? Let me find out. My favorite royal is basically an ex-basehead. Just saying. Anyway, Harry also said when he was walking behind his mother's casket, he felt outside of his body. He admitted he struggled mentally, and the firm's response was silence. And he was basically expected to just carry on. Now, let me remind y'all, he was 12 back then. He also threw Prince Charles under the bus, saying he was emotionally unavailable. And it wasn't until he met Meghan that he realized how seriously fucked up he really was. Well, takes a while. She convinced him to get therapy, and namaste. Basically, Meg put that thing on him. Facts. And here's the receipts.
All over the world, people are in some kind of mental, psychological, emotional pain.
What words have you heard around mental health? Crazy?
Lost it, can't keep it together. With that stigma of being labeled the other, the telling of the story, being able to say, this is what happened to me, is crucial.
See, I write stories, I write them on my arm. Only I can read them, but the doctor calls it self-harm. So can somebody tell me it's okay not to be okay, and do not tell me quietly, because mental health matters, and that's the reality.
Just sitting down and listening to somebody, there's joy in that.
I can put a smile on, but inside feel completely broken. I don't tell this story from my own self-service. I've been through it and people need help.
It's just something I accepted.
ما بخاف منه.
That definitely looks like a must watch. And I'm definitely going to be watching that baby news coming from Harry and Meg. They're expecting baby number 2, a little girl, a little later on this summer. And you can check Harry's docuseries with Oprah. It's on Apple TV Plus right now. Also features Lady Gaga, NBA ball player DeMar Rosen, Langston Halloway, and my girl Glenn Close. You know, she be doing the butt and whatnot. Anyway. Now that this new doc dropped, many in the United Kingdom are advocating for Prince Harry to be stripped of his title. I think y'all already did that, didn't you? Kinda? Isn't that why he left and quit being a royal anyway? Either way, I'm just happy him and Harry are finally agreeing on something. United, side by side, bros together, and blasting the BBC for the way they treated their mother almost 3 decades ago. After an investigation, it was revealed that journalist Martin Bashir had falsified documents and engaged in deceitful behavior and dishonest tactics in order to secure the now infamous Princess Di interview back in 1995. And let's just say the future king is not with the shits. Take it away, Will.
Welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others. It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia, and isolation that I remember from those final years with her.
Oh, we back? Man, William voice be put me to sleep. That whole British accent thing, the way they talk. I mean, and he was pissed in that clip right there. Whew. Of course, Martin issued a statement saying he doesn't feel responsible for the many other things that was going on in Princess Di's life, and that he was just an interviewer doing his job and he had no ill will. But wait a minute. Wasn't he the same guy that did that cringe-worthy MJ interview, or wasn't he? The one where Mike was up in the tree tripping? Yeah. Y'all remember that? And just like Martin, you've been canceled. Hashtag that. From a family feud to a real war going on outside, Israelis and Arabs have been fighting over Gaza on and off for decades. It's part of a wider Arab-Israeli conflict. So for those not in the know, what had happened was World War II and the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jewish people were killed. More Jewish people wanted their own country. They were given a large part of Palestine, which they considered their traditional home. But the Arabs who already lived there and in neighboring countries felt that was unfair and they didn't accept the new country. So in 1948, the two sides went to war. When it ended, Gaza was controlled by Egypt and another area, the West Bank, by Jordan. They contained thousands of Palestinians who fled what was now the new Jewish home, Israel.
Israel carried out hundreds of airstrikes into Gaza on Wednesday as Hamas and other Palestinian militants fired multiple rockets over the border at Tel Aviv and Beersheba. Dozens have been killed in the heaviest offensive between Israel and Hamas since 2014. In Gaza, Palestinian witnesses and health officials said a vehicle was struck by a lethal Israeli airstrike. Abed Al-Dayo was at the scene.
What should I say? This is a crime. They were civilians, a woman, her children, a barber, and a shop owner. These are the people who were at the scene. They didn't hit a militant or a leader. We're civilians sleeping in our homes.
A multi-story residential building also collapsed and another was heavily damaged. Israel warned occupants in advance to evacuate and said it was targeting members of Hamas. Several Israelis have also been killed by missile attacks, according to medical officials. Many woke up shaken after a night of sirens sounding in Tel Aviv as interceptor missiles streaked.
At the moment, they're in a ceasefire, and hopefully it stays that way. And y'all over here complaining about gas prices? These people is really ducking bombs, for real, for real. Okay, time to segue into what we like to call a little reality check, mic check, 1, 2. Hey, the Joe Buttons podcast has done it again. As expected, Joey pulled the plug and crashed and burned his popular podcast, firing his co-host in epic fashion, ranting and yelling about this and that, only to quickly apologize the next day. But this time it's gonna cost him. One of his biggest sponsors, Cash App, has mysteriously disappeared, seemingly pulling their ad dollars, not because Rory and Mal left, but because Joey admitted to creating an unsafe environment after a former employee, DJ Olivia Dope, detailed instances of sexual harassment she endured while working on the Joe Budden podcast. Well, good luck with that. I mean, what do you expect? Like I said, you know, pretty much Joey does what the hell Joey wants to do. And y'all keep giving him more platforms to do that. Speaking of luck, T.I. and Tiny might be some kin to some leprechauns. No, that's not a height joke, considering they were fortunate enough to get one of their sexual assault charges that they were under investigation for in Las Vegas dropped due to the statute of limitations running out. Lucky them. But T.I. and Tiny still got 10 other open cases to worry about. But hey, Tiny killed that thing doing that SWV and Escape versus, for whatever that's worth. Speaking of verses, I hear the next head-to-head battle is going to be Soulja Boy and Bow Wow. Moving right along, I'm starting to understand why Nick Cannon named his show Wild 'N Out. Because that's exactly what this Negro been doing last few months. Nick is fertile as a sperm bank, working on his 4th baby in 6 months. God damn, that's a lot of them. But, I mean, you know, I guess he can afford it. I mean, he got the twins with Mariah. Let's recap, right? Now, he also got 2 kids with a girl named Brittany Bell. She just gave birth to his daughter in December. And apparently, old Brit was pregnant the same time as a LA DJ named DJ Abby De La Rosa. He juggling them things. And she's expecting twins sooner than later. Now, most recently, a model named Alyssa Scott, who Cannon was pictured on a date with last October, showed her growing belly bump and announced to the world she is now on the Nick Cannon meal plan. Congratulations to sis. She shared the name of her soon-to-be son, Zen S. Cannon, so left absolutely no mystery as to who the father is. So that's going to be number 7 for Nick, whose pullout game is clearly lacking. And now we know exactly what Nick was doing during COVID quarantine. Wink, wink. Yeah. Nick was letting that cannon blow. Sheesh. At this rate, Nick going to need about 4 more jobs on top of the 12 he already got. But enough of that. Let's get into this white people news where the truth lies somewhere in the gray area. But Joe Rogan, he doesn't think so. He had the nerve to say on his podcast that he thinks, and I quote, straight white men are being silenced. By
You can never
who?
be woke enough. That's the problem.
I mean,
it keeps going. It
I'm
keeps
just
going
saying-
further and further and further down the line. And if you get to the point where you capitulate, where you agree to all these demands, it'll eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk.
Right.
Because it's your privilege to express yourself when other people of color have been silenced throughout history. It will be, you're not allowed to go outside because so many people were imprisoned for so many years. I mean, I'm not joking.
No, I know.
It really will get there. It's that crazy. You know, we just got to be nice to each other, man. And there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of this weirdness in our culture, and then that becomes their thing. Their thing is calling people out for their privilege, calling people out for their position. You know, it's a fucking crazy time.
Joey. I remember this dude from Fear Factor. Y'all remember that? It was like the highlight of his career, trying to get people to eat live bugs. Anyway, Ariana Grande got married last week. For real this time. I know she's been engaged 1 or 2, 4, 6 times, but she really did it with this guy. Yeah. He's a realtor named Mr. Grande now. And I guess it's true, opposites do attract. You think? Now, student for Trump co-founder was sentenced to 13 months in jail for posing as a lawyer. John Lambert, 25, pleaded guilty to wire fraud in order to forfeit over $46K and pay more than $21,000 in restitution to his victims. His alias, check this out, Eric Pope, duped investors and corporations into paying him for real fake legal services. You Trump supporters, bro, y'all never surprise me. Okay, y'all. Remember to follow my Instagram, StephLover100, and our sponsor IG page, Mr. Nice Guy _DMV for them infused drinky drinks, especially since it's getting hot. And now let's get into this segment we all love. It's called Celebrity Flex. Time to Now, Aubrey, a.k.a. Drake, has been well documented for helping out strippers and porn stars alike, East and West Coast worldwide. And he don't discriminate. Remember homegirl from the God's Plan video he gifted a $50K scholarship to? Well, Destiny James just graduated from UNC Gilling School of Global Public Health. Excuse me, that was a mouthful. Pause. And that's how you pay it forward. Okay? Okay? Did y'all get the Drake reference? Anyway, good karma is residual, as Drizzy was just awarded the Billboard Artist of the Decade Award yesterday during the Billboard Music Awards. Past winners include Mariah and Eminem. You know, not together because they got some weird history. FYI, Drake has 27 Billboard Awards and counting. Okay, Canada. And I'm sure Drake ain't tripping about J-Lo getting back with her ex Ben Affleck. But Alex Rodriguez is having a hard time letting it go. He just recently teamed up with a company called Hims, in which him and J-Lo are investors, to release a new makeup line for men, starting with a blur stick. Yeah, A-Rod is pushing a concealer designed for men with skin imperfections. And as much as I love the Yankees, y'all know I love the Yankees, I don't even feel for this goofball. I mean, he cheated playing baseball, and now you see what happens when you try to cheat with a nobody, you lose somebody that damn near everybody wants. In other words, you just threw a softball underhand pitch to Ben, and he swung for the fences. Alex, adios míos. And since we talking sports, my friend Chris Webber just chucked up the deuces as he recently parted ways with TNT after 13 years at the network. Jeez. He won't be calling any games during the NBA playoffs, but look at that smile. Throw that smile up there for me. Oh, please. Throw that C-Web smile up there. Yeah, because he don't look stressed. Do he look stressed to y'all? He don't look stressed to me. I'm just saying, he just got selected to be part of the Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2021. So congrats to my baby. CW. Congrats to you, baby boy. And Kobe Bryant, who also was recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. And guess what, y'all? Kobe had recorded an album back in the day, but it got shelved because, you know, he was better at basketball. But recently, the whole album track list got released, and here it is. Check it out. I haven't got my hands on any of the tracks yet, but some of them includes Nas, LL Cool J, so give me a minute. And yes, the Black Mamba had bars. A lot of people didn't know Kobe rap, but he actually met his wife on the video set of Brian McKnight's video. So he learned something new every single day, y'all. And you know what? I want to take a minute to just give props and shout outs and mad love going out to BLM, the NAACP, Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt, all the freedom fighters out there on the front line doing what they gotta do to end this racial injustice. We are a year later after George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis, and I don't know, not much has changed. So hopefully we put some fire under that Biden administration and get his ass going. He quickly signed that Asian bill. What's up with these reparations, that Tulsa massacre? Something, give us something more than the VP. I mean, even though she ate you, but you know what I mean. So no drinks today, cause I'm off that. It's your girl, Steph Love.